Alright, so if you're like us and the places you turkey hunt are far away and you don't have always a lot of time to go out there and listen every morning, or you got work, whatever, you just don't have time to go out there, a really useful thing can be what we call e-scouting, and it's basically like finding spots on Onyx before you go out there, so that when you do go out there, you have it already, and you can just go listen to the spots. And the spots kind of just, we kind of have, the way we do is we kind of have a checklist, and if those spots have everything that we need for turkey habitat, that's a spot we'll mark, and we'll go to that spot and listen or hunt. So, just for example, this is a place me and Gage hunt turkeys, but it's 2.5 hours away from the house, so we can't go there every day just to listen and scout for turkeys. So a lot of times what we do is e-scout, and then when it comes time to go out there, we kind of have it all laid out ready for us based on what we found on Onyx. So I'm going to just use this pen as an example pen. So kind of going over like the checklist of what we look for. So for instance, this pen, so the first thing we look for, especially here in Louisiana, is these bottoms. You can see all these creek bottoms, these blue lines. That is most of the time where turkeys roost in Louisiana. At least in my experiences, every turkey I've been on, I think we start off the morning near a bottom. They just roost in bottoms. Don't know why, to be honest, but that's just what they do, I find. So that's one major thing on our checklist. Do they have bottoms around? In this instance, yes. The second thing we look for is something I found out recently from a video online. If you go on Onyx to treetops and cover, they have deciduous versus coniferous trees. So you click that, it's gonna pop up a lot of red and yellow, and it might be a little hard to understand at first, but don't get overwhelmed by all the colors. So your red is your deciduous trees, that's like your hardwoods, oaks, stuff like that. Your orange or yellow, whatever it is your coniferous trees, that's like your pine trees, your green trees, stuff that doesn't lose its leaves. And so I recently just found this out, but apparently turkeys are creatures of edge, like deer. They just naturally go to edges. So if you see here this edge between the coniferous trees and the deciduous trees, you can see the red ones, like the red deciduous trees and the orange coniferous trees, they make that edge all right there. So wherever you have that edge is going to be a good spot for that edge for a turkey. And the fact that we have that around these creek bottoms, it makes a good habitat. And so actually when I found out about that, I went back and looked at every spot I've ever heard a turkey before in my time turkey hunting, and every spot I've heard a turkey has that edge, that deciduous and coniferous tree edge. Every spot I've heard a turkey. Don't know if that's a coincidence or what, but in my book, that's something I'm gonna start looking for. So that's on the list, and that checks off. So all I do once I see that is I turn it off. Other things we look for that aren't necessary but are nice to have is, like, for instance, this is a big clear cut next to the spot we're going to go listen to. So what they can use that as is what I like to call like a strut zone. They get up middle of the day, they're strutting, all that. They'll do it in the woods, but typically if you got an open area around there, it's good to have. It's not going to hurt. So I like to look at that as strut zones. That's just my opinion. I'm sure everyone has different opinions on it, but so right now we have our creek bottoms, our deciduous and coniferous tree lines, and we have a strut zone. Now, another thing that you absolutely don't need, but I, in my experiences, again, have found a lot of turkeys will roost next to them, is ponds. So there just so happens to be a pond right here. It's not a very big pond. and it's even a little grassy, but that's fine. It's just a body of water. So this spot, for instance, that we marked, it checks all our boxes. It has creek bottoms. It has the tree edge that we're looking for between the different types. It has a strut zone. It has a pond, for water, and it has everything we need. So we marked that spot, and what we'll do is we'll go through this big place, and we'll find the road that we come in on, right? To make it easier on us, this is the road we come in on. All these marks you see are off of that road. So whenever we come, we're not running around like a lost goose. We know that, okay, we're on this road, we can jump off this road and hit all our marks and be efficient as possible. And all these spots that I have marked check all those boxes of turkey habitat. So our chances of going out here, having done our homework and found these spots, our chances of going out here and hearing a bird are a lot higher than just going out here and just pulling up on a spot and listening. So if you do your homework, you can get a lot done with e-scouting. I mean, I could tell you, I've never been to this specific spot, but I could tell you the exact terrain of this place right now, even though I've never been there. With the stuff that modern technology has, especially on X, you can literally see whatever you need to see, and it's very important to just to e-scout and be prepared when you go out there. So that's how we e-scout. I'm sure everyone has their own ways of doing it. That's just our way of doing it. If you have any other ways of doing it, let us know. But yeah, that's how we do it.